Hey, what up? I had to come up here because someone came in the chat room earlier and made some comments, and I just wanted to, I wanted to come up here and talk about it because, he wrote in the chat room, Caitlin is winning in life. I guess that was a shot at me. I think it was a shot at me. It was a shot at me, to say, well, Caitlin is winning in life. You're not winning in life. But see, I asked him a question, are you winning in life? He didn't answer the question. He really did not answer the question. He didn't say, well, yeah, yes. He just typed in the chat room, I drive a Mercedes Benz, as if that is the same as winning in life. And that ain't what I asked you. I didn't ask you what you drove. I asked you, are you winning in life? Are you happy in life? And just because you drive a Mercedes Benz doesn't mean that you're winning in life, because it's a lot of people that are not rich who drive a Mercedes Benz. There's a lot of people who are not rich who drive a Mercedes Benz. Okay. So just because you drive a Mercedes Benz, it does not necessarily mean you're winning in life. It just means that you make more money than some other people. You make more money. And therefore you can afford to drive a Mercedes Benz. Okay. But I asked you, are you happy in life? Are you winning in life? I needed you to give me a better answer. Okay, because I think that was a swipe at me. That's what it was. It was a swipe at me because he says that I'm a Caitlin Clark hater. He thinks I'm a Caitlin Clark hater. Okay, because I'm not a fan of Caitlin Clark, and because I don't like her as a person. I don't like her as a person. That means I'm a Caitlin Clark hater because I'm no longer a fan of hers, and I don't like her as a person. I think she's a terrible person. Okay, I really do. I think she's a terrible person. I really do. And I mean, that's my opinion. It doesn't make me a Caitlin Clark hater. That's my opinion about her. I don't trust her. She's sneaky. She has an entitled uh, attitude. She has an entitlement mentality. She has an entitled attitude. She is an entitled, petulant, uh, bratty individual who has white privilege. She is a perfect example of someone soaking in white privilege. So yes, she is winning in life. She is. But what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? You could be winning in life and die and split hell wide open. Like a lot of people. It's a lot of people that are in hell today who was doing very well in life. They were very successful in life. When you get a chance, read St. Luke chapter 16. It talks about Lazarus and the rich man. Okay, it's a story about Lazarus, a man that was, a beggar. He was a beggar. He was very poor. He laid at the gate of a rich man. He was very sick. laying at the gate of a rich man who walked past him, didn't pay him no mind, would not feed him, would not clothe him, even though the beggar called Lazarus was laid at his gate every day, full of sores. This rich man would walk past and would not give Lazarus the time of day. He would not give Lazarus the time of day. And it came to pass that Lazarus died and he was carried into Abraham's bosom. And for those of you who don't know what Abraham's bosom is, it was a place of paradise. It was on the opposite side of Hades. That's another word for hell. Okay. It was on the other side of hell. And it was called paradise. But the Bible says that this place was known as Lazarus' bosom, but I'm sorry, Abraham's bosom. My bad. Abraham's bosom. It was known as Abraham's bosom, according to St. Luke, chapter 16. But it was really paradise. That's what it was. It was paradise. And it was on the opposite side of hell. Okay. And it was a place of peace. It was a place of peace and tranquility. And it was full of life. This place called paradise, also known as Abraham's bosom. Okay. It was a place of life. It was a place of peace, tranquility. It was a place of bliss. Like it was a blissful existence. It was a real place. It really was. It was a real place. In the heart of the earth. It was a real place, but it was on the other side of Hades. Okay. And the rich man died. And in hell, he lifted up his eyes, being in torment, according to St. Luke chapter 16. This is a real story. This happened. And the rich man saw Abraham and Lazarus lying next to him. And he cried out to Abraham, Father Abraham, save me. He cried out to Abraham to save him from this place of torment. He also said, send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water to cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame, the flame of hell, because this place is on fire. This place, also known as Hades, is on fire. It's another word for the underworld. Okay. It's another word for the underworld. Okay. So this place is on fire, constant fire, eternal fire. It's on fire, full of brimstone. It's just constantly a region. It's a whole region that is on fire. That's what it is. The nether regions. It's called the nether regions also. It's called the underworld, the nether regions. This place is under eternal flames. It's under eternal flames. It is on fire, full of brimstone, burning lava. Okay, y'all go and read about what the ancient Greeks and Romans and the Egyptians wrote about the underworld. Go and read about it. Hell has evolved. Okay? Hell has evolved. This is a real place of torment. Okay, and it's in the heart of the earth. That's where it is. It's in the heart of the earth. And if you die, you're going to go down. If you end up in hell, you're going down. You're going to go down into the heart of the earth. And also, hell has gates. And once you enter the gates of hell, there is no coming back. Once you enter the gate of hell, there is no coming back out of the gates of hell. Just like heaven has gates, hell also has gates. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth unto destruction. Enter ye in at the straight gate, said Jesus. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth unto destruction, and many there be that go therein. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life. Few there be that find it. He was talking about very few people will find the way to eternal life, because the road is so narrow. There will be very few people on the narrow road to everlasting life. And also, y'all talking about there's no heaven and no hell. The reason why y'all talking about there's no heaven and hell, the reason why y'all say there is no heaven and hell and it does not exist, is because a lot of y'all are living like hell and you on your way to hell. That's why you quick to come out your mouth talking about there's no heaven or hell, because a lot of y'all are on your way to hell and you don't want to acknowledge the fact that you're on your way to hell, because to acknowledge the fact that you're on your way to hell, it would mean that you would have to change. If you acknowledge that you are hell bound, that means you're going to have to change. And a lot of y'all don't want to change. You love your life of sin and debauchery. You love your life of whoremongering and fornication and idol worship. You love living like a demon. You love living like a demon. You love the lifestyle of being able to do whatever you want to do. A lot of y'all are involved in a lot of things that, it's really corrupt, really corrupt. A lot of y'all be involved in pornography. A lot of y'all be sitting up watching porn. Some of y'all are involved in kiddie porn. Some of y'all, you travel also to have sex with minors in other countries. It's just a lot of things that people be out here doing. It's a lot of things that people be out here doing. Some people, they be watching kiddie porn. Some people, they travel, they call them passport bros. That's what they call them, passport bros. They be traveling to other countries, having sex with minors, taking advantage of poor children in other countries. Some of y'all involved in, prostitution. You pay for sex, you pay people to have sex. Some of y'all, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Okay. Some of y'all, you're married and cheating on your wife. Some of y'all married and cheating on your husband. It's just a lot that people are doing. Some of y'all are engaged in sexual immorality. Sexual immorality, I'm talking about. Some of y'all are engaged in, stuff that, it'll take you to hell, for real. Idol worship is definitely also witchcraft workers as well. It's a lot of witchcraft workers, people that, witchcrafts, people that engage in the occult. People that are engaged in the occult, people that practice witchcraft, people that practice voodoo, hoodoo, sanitaria or whatever they call it, sanitariums. Yeah, yeah, or Santeria, whatever. It's called Santeria, I think. That religion called Santeria. But anyway, you know, yeah, some of y'all be involved with other gods, okay, other gods, you know, and you deny Jesus. You deny Jesus. You deny his existence. You don't believe that he came and died for your sins. You don't believe in him. And you involved in other gods. And you involved with other gods, Yeah, that kind of stuff. But anyway, some of y'all, yeah, that's why you're quick to say that hell and heaven doesn't exist, because you are living like hell and you're on your way to hell, and you don't want to acknowledge that you're on your way to hell, because to acknowledge that you're on your way to hell, you would have to change, and y'all don't want to change. You don't want to change. So, of course, I'm not going to get a whole crowd to come in here listening to me, about heaven or hell, because a lot of y'all think that, I'm a hypocrite anyway. So a lot of y'all ain't going to listen to me because you think I'm a hypocrite anyway. But I'm just telling you, a lot of y'all on your way to hell. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to tell you the truth. You may not believe a word I'm saying, but I'm still going to tell you the truth anyway. Because when you get to hell, you won't have any excuses. You won't be able to blame nobody but yourself once you get to hell. Because you will remember that someone told you about hell. You will remember this conversation if you ever listen to it. And, I'm just saying, a lot of y'all, you like to sit up and judge me all the time. A lot of y'all like to sit up and judge me. And also, and dismiss what I'm saying because you're judging me. You're so busy worried about me that you're forgetting about you have to save yourself. You're so busy worried about what I'm doing, you forgot that you got to save yourself from hell. Just like I got to save myself from going to hell. I got to save myself from going to hell. And I'm definitely not going to let nobody take me or cause me to go to hell. Because they on their way to hell, they want to take you to hell. And that's how a lot of people is. They on their way to hell, they want to take you to hell with them. But I'm not going to let nobody take me to hell. If I go to hell, I'm going on my own. It'll be because I done something. I'm not going to let nobody else cause me to go to hell. I ain't going to do that. If I end up in hell, it'll be because of me. Because I caused myself to go to hell. Not because Black Sun caused me to engage in sexual immorality with him and I ended up dying and going to hell. It won't be because of him. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. So no, I'm not going to get a whole lot of views for this video because a lot of y'all, you've turned your ears away from the truth. You don't want to listen to people telling you the truth about hell, which is a real place, and it's in the heart of the earth. It's really in the heart of the earth, and it's on fire all the time, full of lava and brimstone. And there are souls there that are in torment in hell's dominion. Hell is a real place. Also known as the underworld. It's known as the nether region, the netherworld, the underworld, the nether regions. Just, go and read what the Romans and the Greeks and the Egyptians and all these ancient civilizations, go and read what they said about the underworld. And I can tell you now, hell has evolved since then. Hell has evolved. So, you sit up, you can sit up and judge me all day long and worry about, what I done, and that's your reason for not serving Jesus or not giving your life to Christ or not believing in Jesus. Don't let what somebody like me have done cause you to end up in hell. I mean, I'm just saying, don't let my little mistakes cause you to end up going to hell. That's all I'm saying. Because you got to save yourself. You got to save yourself from going to hell. Because when it comes time for you to be judged, you can't blame me for as to why you ended up in the situation you in. When it comes time for everybody to be judged, you cannot blame me if you end up in hell. That's all I'm saying. You can't blame me if you end up in hell. Just like I can't blame you if I end up in hell. But don't let nobody cause you to go to hell. And don't do that. Don't let nobody cause you to end up in hell. Because some of these folks, they know they on their way to hell, and they want to take you with them to hell. And that's, it's a lot of people like that out here. They don't believe in Jesus and don't want nobody else to believe in Jesus. They don't believe in the Bible and don't want you to believe in the Bible. They don't, want to be a Christian and don't want you to be a Christian. It's a lot of people out here like that. They don't want to be a Christian, therefore they don't want you to be a Christian. They don't want to serve God, therefore they don't want you serving God. They don't want to believe in Jesus, therefore they don't want you to believe in Jesus. Because they don't. It's just, people. But I really, to be honest with you, I really just think it's demons. A lot of these people are demonically possessed. That's what I'm looking at too. I'm looking at a lot of folks just demonically possessed. I see demons walking around in people. And that's what it really is demons walking around in people. A lot of people are demonically possessed. And a lot of y'all, you've been demonically possessed since childhood, really. Demons have been in your life since you were children. A lot of y'all. You just don't know it. You've had familiar spirits around y'all since childhood. Familiar spirits you've had around you since childhood. A lot of y'all, your parents never took you to church. Your parents didn't believe in Jesus and never took you to church. So, that's how a lot of y'all ended up demonically possessed also. Because your parents, they didn't believe in Jesus. And they didn't take you to church either. That's how some of y'all ended up demonically possessed. Some of y'all, you're walking around here with, a lot of, sexual immorality demons. A lot of y'all, and you got more than one spirit on you. You got more than one spirit. A lot of y'all walking around here with sexual immorality demons. Some of y'all like to have sex with minors. That's a demon. Those are demons, okay? Some of y'all be sitting up watching kiddie porn. Those are demons. Some of y'all travel to go have sex with minors. Those are demons. Still a demon. That's making you go travel to have sex with minors in other countries. That's a demon. Some of y'all be stealing all the time. That's a demon. I mean, because some of these folks, you don't even have to steal. Some of these people be stealing just because. They be stealing for the thrill of stealing. That's a demon. Okay, that's a demon. So, yeah. I just wanted to come up here and address what the young man said in the chat room because, he really was taking a shot at me. That's what he was doing, taking a shot at me. Talking about Caitlyn is winning in life. Of course she's winning in life. White privilege, will cause you to win in life when you have white privilege like she has. And she uses her white privilege also. She uses her white privilege. Sometimes she uses it against other people. Sometimes she does. She uses her white privilege against other people. She do that too. So, I ain't surprised, that she is winning. But the question is, if she died today, is she going to heaven? That's the question. If you die today, are you going to heaven? Are you going to enter the gates of heaven? Because all your money, all your white privilege, all your cars, all your Mercedes Benzes, all your what they call it, Lexuses, all of your millions, all of your billions, it won't keep you from going to hell. It won't keep you out of hell's dominion. And none of that will help you if you end up going to hell. Your money, your possessions, your 401k, none of it will matter if you die and go to hell, like the rich man in Luke chapter 16. He said, Father Abraham, send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. He had a conscious mind. He was fully conscious of his surrounding. He was fully conscious of where he was. And he knew he was dead. The rich man knew he was dead. He knew where he was. You have full consciousness after death. So don't come in my chat room no more with that bull crap about heaven and hell don't exist. It does. You have full consciousness after you die. Because the spirit body is the real you. See, we have a natural body and we have a spirit body. The spiritual body is the real you. Really? The spiritual body is imprisoned in the physical tabernacle, which is your body, your physical body. But once that spiritual body escape your physical body, where will it go? Where will it go? And I hate to say it, but a lot of y'all going to hell. I hate to say that. I mean, I don't want you to go to hell. I really don't. I don't want you go. I don't want you to go. Just like I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there myself. It's not a good place to be. It really is not. So like and subscribe to this video if you liked what I had to say. And you can donate to my Cash App at $ Alberta 41, $ Alberta 41. And that's pretty much it. Somebody already told me, well, get YouTube to pay your bills for you. Get YouTube to pay your rent for you. Well, YouTube has never paid my bills or my rent because I'm not monetized. I'm not monetized. I don't receive YouTube ad revenue share. Yeah, I don't receive YouTube ad revenue because I'm not monetized. But if you want to donate to my Cash App, you can donate to that. But YouTube has never paid my rent or my bills because I'm not monetized. And even when I was monetized, it still didn't pay my rent and my bills. It wasn't that much money I was getting, even when my channel used to be monetized. I didn't get a whole lot of money. No, I didn't get enough to pay my bills and my rent. I got enough to pay for some food, at a restaurant maybe, but I was able to eat out some days, but that's about it. When I used to be monetized by YouTube, but YouTube, demonetized me. Okay, about 4 years ago. Yep. So anyway, y'all. Yep. YouTube demonetized me. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, that was I mean, yeah. I didn't fight it either. When YouTube demonetized me, I did not fight it at all. I didn't fight it. I just left it alone, honey. Just left it alone. But I used to get a few dollars, go out to eat, something like that. When I used to be monetized by YouTube. Yep. Yeah, but YouTube ain't never paid my rent or my bills. But if you want to donate to my Cash App, you are more than welcome to donate to my Cash App. Help a sister out, because coming up here talking, yeah, coming up here talking is work. Okay. And some people, they don't want to talk to you at all if you don't donate to them. Hey, Miss D, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I just wanted to come up here and speak on something, because one of Caitlin's fans came into my chat room earlier, talking about Caitlin is winning in life, because, he thinks I'm a Caitlin Clark hater because I'm no longer a fan of Caitlin Clark, because I'm no longer a fan of hers and all of that. And because I don't like her as a person, so that makes me a Caitlin Clark hater. But anyway, girl, thank you for coming up here. Thank you. Yep. So I just wanted to come up here and talk about that just a little bit, because sometimes I get Caitlin Clark fans coming in my chat room and telling me how much of a hater I am, stuff like that. How much of a hater, a hater of Caitlin that I am. They still bothering you. Yeah. Yeah. They be They coming in my chat room talking about how much of a Caitlyn hater I am, you know, because I don't worship Caitlin Clark, or because I'm no longer a fan and I don't worship her and I don't like her. So that makes me, I guess, a Caitlin Clark hater because I don't like her. I think she's a terrible person. I do. I think she is. I think she is a terrible person. Yeah. Um, and I think that her fans, by not holding Caitlyn accountable, by not holding her accountable, by coddling her, I think that made her worse. I really do. I think it made her worse by her fans not holding her accountable and by them coddling her and by them, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a word, by them, you know, blowing up her head. By them blowing up her head, that just made her worse as not only a player but as a human being. I think she loves the spotlight. She loves attention. That's what it is. She loves attention. She loves to be the center of attention. And she loves that adulation, that praise that these fans are providing her. She loves it. She loves it. The adulation and the praise that these fans are providing her when they show up at the games and they praising her constantly and people constantly talking about her and the cameras are on her. And, you know, she just goes into her act. That's what she does. She goes into her act. She's playing a part in front of the cameras, but behind closed doors, she's totally different. Behind closed doors, totally different. Now, I stopped being a fan. I stopped being her fan. And looking back in hindsight, it was the best thing that could have happened, to be honest. It was the best thing that could have happened by me not being her fan or stopped being her fan. That was the best thing that could have happened. Okay? The best thing. And sure, she's winning in life. She is winning in life. She got everything she wants. She got the Nike deal. She got all of these different endorsements. She got MAGA. She got billionaires from the MAGA world backing her. Yeah, she got billionaires from the MAGA world backing her. She got the money. She got money. She ain't got to worry about how she gonna pay her bills. She ain't got to worry about how she gonna pay her rent. She ain't she ain't paying no rent. She ain't got to pay no rent. You know, like the rest of us out here in the real world. She ain't got to pay rent. She ain't got to worry about all of that. Okay? She got her phone bill she got to worry about. And car note, car insurance, yeah. But rent and bills, nah. Just the phone bill, the car note, the car insurance, stuff, little stuff like that, Credit cards, I'm sure she got a couple credit cards, you know. But that's just about it, really. She got all the things that she wants. So yeah, she is winning in life. And also her white privilege helps her to win in life. But what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? It's a lot of people winning in life. But if you die and split hell wide open, what does all of that matter then? What does it matter? If you end up dead and in hell, you winning in life, okay? And so the person that came in the chat room and said that earlier, I guess that was a swipe at me to say, yeah, Caitlin is winning in life. You're not winning in life. That was what he was really saying. You're not winning in life. Caitlin is winning in life. You're not winning in life. Well, I'm not winning in life. Am I supposed to deny that? Am I supposed to sit up here and act like, yeah, everything is great and wonderful in my life? Am I supposed to sit here and act like there's nothing wrong in my life, that everything is wonderful, that am I supposed to act like I got money that I don't have? Am I supposed to act like I'm rich when I'm poor? Am I supposed to act like I'm doing wonderful and life is just one blissful experience when it's not? I don't I don't come online to put on a pretense to act like I'm one thing, but in real life I'm something different. I mean, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I live in Atlanta. I work a regular job. Okay. I work part time. I refuse to work 40 hours a week. See, I saw the game and I decided I didn't want to play that game. So I stopped working full time back in 2020. Okay. I saw the game and I didn't want to play that game. You know, that's why I work part time and that's it. That's all I would do, part time, period, point blank. Because ain't no way in hell I'm finna go out here and work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week, 100 hours a week, 110 hours a week, 120 hours a week. Ain't no way in hell I'm finna do that and still not have nothing. I'm not doing it because, yeah, the more you make, the more people want to raise your bills. You know what I mean? The more you make, the more they want to raise stuff. So you're back at square one. So I saw the game and I didn't want to play the game. So I just work part time and I try to live within my means. Okay. But since the orange man got in office, things are a lot more expensive. My money don't go too far, obviously. My money doesn't go too far. Since the pedophile in chief is in the Oval Office. Okay. Now, am I supposed to come up here and put on a pretense and act like, oh, yeah, Alberta's doing wonderful? I mean, I'm doing the best that I can. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing the best that I can. But if you want to help me out, you can donate to my Cash App so I can have at least a few coins to go get something to eat, to go grab lunch. But I also got books on sale. Check them out on Amazon. America at the Crossroads, A Nation in Moral and Economic Decline is available on Amazon. I got books for sale as well if you want to help a sister out. if you want to help a black woman out. Or if you want to help a poor person out. I got books for sale on Amazon. So what you see is what you get. I don't have to come up here and put on a pretense and act like everything is wonderful and act like I'm happy all the time. I don't I don't I don't do that. What you see is what you get. If you want to go do some digging into my background and trying to find out what I'm about, you know, you know, I don't care. You know, I ain't got nothing to hide. I don't have anything to hide. I just work a regular job. I'm part time. I ain't got nothing to hide. I know sometimes people be trying to figure me out and be trying to figure you out and all that kind of stuff. You know, oh, okay. Just know that I ain't never been to jail or prison a day in my life. Know that. Never been to jail or prison a day in my life. You know? So judge me all you want. I'm still gonna tell you the truth. Hell is real. Heaven is real. Jesus is real. Okay? And I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to burn in hell for all of eternity, especially after the life I have had, especially after this old horrible experience called life. This place sucks. It really does. It sucks. And when I say this place, I'm talking about this whole damn planet. It sucks. Okay, so yeah, I want to go back to my heavenly home. Yes, I do. I want to go back home to where I came from, my heavenly home. Because this ain't my home. This down here is not my home. I didn't come here to stay I didn't come here to stay forever. None of us did. I didn't come here to stay forever. This is a very temporary um existence. It's very temporary. Very temporary. Some people ain't gonna live to see 60 years old. It's very temporary. Okay? Eternity is forever. And your spirit body is forever. You have a natural body and you have a spirit body. Your natural body will die and go back to the earth. Where will your spirit body go when your natural body dies? That is what you need to be concerned about. So yeah, you can be winning in life, but die in split hell wide open. And all of your accolades, all of your worldly possessions, everything you have accumulated on this planet will go to someone else. while you in hell. So yeah, I believe in hell. I believe in heaven. I believe in Jesus. Yes. Yes, I do.